hopefully this music is not overbearing for you guys. I don't want to have to project my voice too high over it. But I do want to have like some background music. Trying to make a couple changes. But just let me know. Give me some feedback. If it's not loud enough or if it's too loud, just let me know. But I'm going to project my voice a bit so that just in case, because I'm not really sure how it's going to operate, like the audio and my voice mixing together. I'm not really sure how it's going to sound, so I'm just going to project my voice naturally for this profile just to make sure that if the music is a problem, at least you guys can still hear me clearer. And moving forward, if the music's a problem, I'll change it. I'm just trying to do something different. I have some non-copyrighted music playing in the background. So basically, you guys, yes, of course, it's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby, representing Team Kings of Games. As always, I represent my team to the fullest, and I upload more than all of them, honestly. But I'm showcasing you guys Magical Musketeer Eldritch, you guys. This is a going first variant. What I felt that Eldritch had to offer for the Magical Musketeers was a consistent way to trigger columns, a consistent way to go first, a secondary win condition, a backup engine, and also a strength where a weakness lies. So there's a lot of mitigations that it provides for Magical Musketeers, and also at the same time, Magical Musketeers give an aggressive aspect to Eldritch that they already kind of had, but it had to build up. But because of Max, you can just OTK out of nowhere, which is crazy. So this deck can OTK out of nowhere. It builds a multitude of follow-ups, and also it gains advantage over time and even expeditiously. If you don't want to wait, you can be greedy and just go for it right now. But if the deck is played in the long run just to be competitive, honestly, this deck, that's probably the strongest way you can play Magical Musketeer Eldritch. Not necessarily slow-paced control stun, but mid-range, the same way I play Shaddolls, where it's like, I'm playing a fast-paced deck, but I'm choosing to not play it as fast as it possibly can be played so that I can get the most out of every card. Like an orange, squeeze every bit of juice you can get out of it before you throw it away. That's what I want to do with my muskets. That's what I want to do with my Eldritch cards. I can counter Dark Roller no more because I really don't need certain effects to go off. I don't really care about Evenly Matched because I have cards to negate it. I don't care about Lightning Storm because I have cards to negate it. Now, if my Magical Musketeer normal summon gets interrupted, I have a backup engine to still play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I don't have to be like, I passed turn with Desperado Cross on my hand, they're dead. But now I'm like, I have Golden Lord, I have plays, I have Sanguine, I have Golden Land Forever, you know, I've got Wakiro, you know, I've got things. So this deck has tricks up its sleeve. I don't play hand traps because I feel like some decks are so good that they don't need hand traps. Not only feel, but I've proven, tried and true, I don't like hand traps. You guys know this about me. So no, there are no hand traps in this deck. Yes, it can still compete. Did I break 6 negates without hand traps? Absolutely. With Magical Musketeers with no Eldritch cards. Now you've got Desperado Cross Dom and Golden Lord. And all the Golden Lands, all the follow-ups that you get out of this deck. Max is a card. Generic links like Nightmares. The deck has so much spot removal going second. It's crazy. Like, so let's go ahead and get into the profile, you guys. Unless we're getting FTK'd, we really don't care. You can summon Calamities on me, that's fine. I'm going to set my Eldritch cards, I'm going to normal summon my Magical Musketeer, and keep my Musket cards in hand, and just bang bang on your turn. So, not even Calamities is going to stop this deck from playing, because it's not a monster effect heavy deck. It actually utilizes more of its spells and traps, but the way it interacts, because you can keep some of your cards in hand, even if you can't negate evenly, you're not going to lose all your interruptions off evenly. Even if you get Kaiju'd, it's not the end of the world. So if you understand where I'm coming at, the mitigations that each engine provides for itself, they kind of just really do mesh together. Not like peanut butter and jelly, but almost like something very, very close. So for the list, 3 copies of Starfire, 3 copies of Casper, 3 copies of Kid Brave, which is one of the strongest, because drawing your Eldritch cards allows you to play both engines in the same turn. That's where this deck gets really strong. This isn't like something like, oh, I came up with this. This is something I was just like, dang, I really want to play Magical Musketeers with Eldritch until I get my hands on Mirror Resonators, so I can do Magical Musketeer Resonators, which I still feel like the Eldritch variant is just stronger. Honestly, this is the way to go for me. Kid Brave's insane, you guys. Draw 2. Obviously, you're going to see Eldritch cards, which is going to be really, really advantageous for you. And also, it does contradict with the Pot of Extravagance, which I'm proxying Desires for that, but at the same time, it's either one or the other, and it's not like you're going to see Extravagance every time. So, you're still, Kid Brave is your other engine to allow you to just facilitate draws multiple times. Draw 2 on your turn, draw 2 on their turn. Eventually, you're just going to get to half of your deck. I do play 3 copies of Doc. It's very imperative in playing Musketeers that you open an actual musket. You can have no musket bang bang weapons, but if you don't have a Musketeer, that's a different story. I'd rather draw any Musketeer monster and no musket weapons than have a handful of weapons and no Musketeers. At least these can be converted into max when I'm going second, but the Musketeer weapons don't do much. Why are you saying that, 3 stacks? Because if you're noticing, I'm playing a little bit heavier on the Musketeer monsters. Most people will typically play a minimum, but I typically play 13 to 14, which I feel like is like a decent amount. We're also playing the 1 copy of Calamity. Still has that Monster Reborn that you need, so you play out of your deck turn 1, and then after turn 1, you have the option to play from your grave off of Dock, Calamity, and all your Eldritch and Elixir cards and your Golden Lands. Just super duper powerful. So those are the magical Musketeer monsters. I'm showing the Musketeer portion of the deck first, then the Eldritch portion after. What I didn't do was splash a small Eldritch engine in. What I did was actually combine 2 decks together that really do function very, very well together. The problems that are solved by the Eldritch, the problems that magical Musketeers have are solved by Eldritch, and some of the problems that Eldritch can have are solved by magical Musketeers. Not having enough negations, that's why people play Synchro Engines with Hockey Fibrax, you know, Invoke, because Eldritch by itself doesn't have enough interruptions, but Last Stand, Desperado, Cross Domination, and Dancing Needles is 4 ways to interrupt your opponent. Triple DD Crow, Negation, and a Trident. In addition to the DD Crow that you get off of Eldritch, the Trident you get off of Eldritch, and the Negation you get off Eldritch. The funny thing is, dang near both engines have the same kinds of interactions. A pop, a solid Omni Negate counter trap, and then you have a Negation counter trap for the Magical Musketeers. Not Omni, but still a counter trap. And then you have a spot negation off Crush Stomp, which Eldritch don't have. But then you have DD Crow off Dancing Needle and DD Crow off of Walk Arrow. So your interruptions, you consistently get the same ones off both engines, and those are strong interruptions against almost every deck. But continuing on with my musket weapons, bang bang, 3 cross doms. This card's insane. Something that Eldritch just don't have. You don't have to play Needle Fiber to make Eldritch good. I actually like how this deck operates. So this is a negation that Eldritch doesn't have. And then Eldritch has something that Musketeers don't have. And again, Eldritch can be susceptible to Dark Ruler. I mean, not Dark Ruler. They can be susceptible to Evenly Match and Lightning Storm, but you have Last Stand to search to counter that. So, like I've been explaining in the profile, the engines just complement each other. 3 Desperados, 3 Cross Doms, 3 Last Stand, Altergeist, Eldritch, Salad, oh my goodness. There's so many strong decks with main deck traps. Even this card counters Infinite Impermanence on your Magical Musketeer max. So this card's actually exceptional in this deck. You can totally play 2 if you want, but I'm playing 3. These are the best muskets, you guys. These are the interruptions. These are the negations. These are the cards that are going to allow you to play on your opponent's turn, because this is a going first variant. Going second, you have Cross Diamond Desperado. Your opponent negates the activation. You resolve max. You search a second copy of each. Activate them again because you can only activate 1. Henceforth, since your opponent negated the activation, you can do it again. That's a really strong effect because the clause of these is different from the Eldritch cards where you can only use 1 versus you can only activate 1. It's huge. It's a huge difference. So even though I don't play hand traps, again, my deck can assume critical mass. Magical Muskets are an exceptional deck going second. You don't even have to main hand traps in them. You can just play cards like Lightning Storm and Dark Roll no more if you want. But I feel my engine's super strong. And we definitely have shown that Magical Musketeers can break 6 negates. So you guys, this right here is your 3-3-3 lineup. And then for the rest of them are 1-ups. This card is actually super exceptional. When you get into your Topologic Bomber plays and you start spamming him off of your Eldritch cards, you're just going to be using this to protect your muskets because they can't be destroyed by card effects. Henceforth, the Bomber Dragon doesn't actually affect them. So Phoenix Steel's crazy. And against the Eldritch interaction where they use Conquistador, you chain this. They can't destroy your Magical Musketeer even though they can resolve its effect to destroy. They just can't destroy your Musketeer now because of this. And if they pop this, you get a free plus. This is just a triple DD Crow. This allows you to extend and lock out columns, which is super duper impressive. So that's it for the Magical Musketeers. Next, I'm playing 3 Pot of Extravagance. I know they're desires, but they're supposed to be extravagances. 2 Golden Lords. These are the expensive cards of the deck that I just don't have. I'd rather get my daughter a bunk bed, or get my son a new playpen, or get a new couch for my living room, or buy my wife a better diamond on her ring than get 3 Extravagance and 2 Golden Lords right now at this moment. When the money comes in, don't get me wrong, I'm going to get Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but I don't see myself buying Golden Lords or Extravagances. I see myself buying other cards that are cheaper that I can get to help more than just one deck that can be played in multiple decks. Extravagance, yeah, but it depends on how cheap it is. So for right now, I'm going to continue to proxy these cards until I can A, get the stuff that I need, and then worry about what I want later. But yeah, these are like the chase cards of the deck that it's going to be really difficult if you're trying to build this deck to get these. Right now, I'm proxying them. You guys know I'm like the proxy master at this point. 3 Extravagance, 2 Golden Lords. So I'll keep the Golden Lord proxies there so you guys can see this is the Eldritch aspect of the deck. Shout outs to Valente and the Duelist Boys. he basically dang near gave me the Eldritch cards. They were throw-ins in a trade that I really didn't have good trade bait for, and he was just really nice by just giving me these cards. He was like, they're cheap, I have extras, keep them. I was only able to get 2 Cursed Eldlins. I definitely played 3, but for now, 2. I don't have any blacks, so I'm playing whites as a proxy for black. Black is a lot better than white. It doesn't really require for you to have anything in your hand or your grave. It's just a better starter. In the long run, I'd probably play 2 blacks and 1 white, but right now, since I don't have blacks, I'm showcasing 2 whites as my 2 blacks. So consider these proxies 2. And then continuing, 3 copies of Sanguine. This card's actually super nice. And since you guys are going to notice, like, this deck is playing a very, very heavy Eldritch engine in this deck. And, you know, since I don't play hand traps, even though, like, you guys can arguably play them, I don't really like them. I decided that instead of playing hand traps like impermanence, I just wanted to play more Eldritch cards. They're really, really strong. They continually to trigger my muskets. So the thing with Eldritch that I forgot to mention is that once you get your engine set up, you will never have to worry about columns for your magical musketeers again, because these will constantly replace themselves by setting cards to your field, which will set in the columns of your musketeers, so you will never have to worry about, dang, I used my Desperado on Caspar and I searched out a card, then I activated it, now I can't use anything to trigger Caspar anymore. So Eldritch will also carry that portion of your muskets to keep activating in columns, so you can grind with cards like Doc and Calamity. So you guys are going to see there's a huge beneficial synergy from playing these. But 3 Conquistadors, yes, 3 Vaqueros. If you guys do not want to play this many, you do not have to. This is my choice, this is my deck, this is how I want to play it. 3 and 3. And the 1 Guardian. Guardian is here because your magical musketeers are actually very, very small. Cross Dom is nice, you're not always going to have it. So you use this to make your opponent's monster smaller than your musket when they're trying to attack into it. So you want to wait till they go into battle phase, declare an attack, on attack declaration. You can go Guardian. And basically summon him out, make their monster defense. Obviously, make their monster 0. Obviously, these cards are going to get their best effects when you have Golden Lord on field, but you really won't have a problem seeing as you have 2, 4, 6, 9, soon to be 10, 12 ways to access Golden Lord. And then to finish up the deck, 1 Golden Land forever. You have this, you have Cross Dom, you have Desperado, you have Last Stand, you have Dancing Needles, you have Conquistador, you have Vaquero. You have a lot of ways to interrupt your opponent. Even if they're minimalistic 1-for-1 interactions, those combined together just simplify the game state, and that's where you're going to thrive because Max is a card, your muskets are super strong, you can kill your opponent resolving Max. It's crazy. Super duper dope deck, you guys. Honestly, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I know Extravagance is definitely not going to be able to trigger muskets turn 1, but it's honestly better than Desires in this list because of the engine that I'm playing. I don't want to banish anything, especially not the Golden Lords, you guys. That would hurt. For the extra deck, 3 copies of Max. So I don't have any rank 5s or rank 10s. I would play like cards like Pleiades, Artifact Durandal, Volcasaurus, Juggernaut Lieb, and Gustav Max if I had them, but I'm just playing a bunch of links because this is what I've got. So I'm playing 3 Max, 2 of each, Nightmare Cerberus and Phoenix. Co-linking these to Max is actually super nice. Discard an Eldritch card, draw, Golden Land, draw, and protect him from battle or card effects. So whenever you co-link these to him, you're going to out a card, you're going to draw, you're going to get a card engraved that needs to be there like a Golden Land, and you're going to protect Max. So the baby Nightmares are super strong. 1 Security Dragon. This card's super nice. Sometimes your best power removals only destroy. Even if the monster can still be targeted, it's just because your best power move is destroyed. Cards like Malicious Bane, for example, are really hard to deal with, so you want to have like Security Dragon and Borreload and Near Gearsu and things of that nature. Barricade Blocker, I'm only playing 2 of the Cursed Eldland. Barricade Blocker just allows me to get access to it again. This deck can grind. It's not going to be easy to kill. You're not going to be able to evenly match me if I find a way to search out my Last Stand. You can't Lightning Storm my back row, so I don't really have to worry about, like, because I'm playing a more control variant of Eldritch, I don't have to worry about the cards that you could side deck to hurt this card deck, like Twin Twist or things of that nature. That's why it's really good to play 3 Last Stands in this deck, so that you can protect your Eldritch back rows from the back row hate, and your Eldritch will then reward you by protecting your Musketeer cards and triggering their column. So you guys see the synergy here. 1 Nightmare Unicorn that I don't have, 1 Ningirsu, 1 Borreload. These are to get over cards that can be targeted or destroyed. We're playing the 1 Appaloosa. You can make this on your follow-ups like crazy. The extra deck would change if I had certain cards. 2 Topologic Bomber Dragons. This card is super duper powerful in this deck. You trigger it off Vaquero, off Guardian, off Conquistador, off Sanguine. Like, Bomber can be triggered multiple times as long as you keep your, basically, keep your, I gotta pull it up I can explain to you guys how the interaction works. Keep your finish deal up. It says magical musketeer monsters can be destroyed by card effects. it includes all card effects, not just your opponent's. So when you're triggering Bomber, you're not killing your muskets, which now, simplified game state, you're about to start winning super fast. So I just like the interactions of this and Bomber. The fact that the Eldritch cards don't care if they get destroyed because they want to be in the grave anyways. That is the deck profile, you guys. I'm going to say a quick prayer and I'm going to be out. I got some more videos to do, some more content to make. I'm going to try to diversify it, but getting duels is hard for me because I don't have really anybody to duel like that. And then I still do not know how to do replays online yet. I'm not very tech savvy. I know like I'm young and everything, but when it comes to technology, I'm like a caveman. So when I learn how to do replays, I definitely feel like I should include replays of my duels online because I think that will really help this channel for people to just see something different, you know? But our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Jesus. Thy kingdom come and thy will be done, hallelujah, on earth just as it is in heaven. Please give us this day our daily bread, Lord, and please forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, Father, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the glory, and the power, forever. In the mighty name of Jesus I pray. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Amen. And keep in mind, the deck is subject to change through more playtesting, but right now, these ratios are my actual choice. I now have access to cards like Infinite Impermanence, Ash Blossom, Called by the Grave, Evenly Matched, Dark World and War. I can totally play those cards. I chose to play Engine over board breaking cards because my deck, its engine played correctly, already can break boards, simplify the game state. It has systematic spot removals that bait negations, and you can capitalize off of max after you bait it. So the deck's already super strong. Even if I get hand looped, it's not the end of the world. My Eldritch cards will save me. If somebody activates True King of All Calamities on me, I will just normal a musket, set some Eldritch back rows, pass. Having my muskets in hand, if he activates his effect again, I could just chain cross Dom or Desperado, and then use cards like Conquistador and Sanguine. So you can even play around basically the True King of All Calamities. And Dark Ruler No More doesn't hurt this deck at all. Like, it just, like, to play around Dark Ruler, just set your Musketeer spells and traps, and now you can just activate them normally. So yeah, that's the deck profile, you guys. Peace out, yo.